Well, that was Albania. Here we are departing Durrës, Albania for Bar, Montenegro. And not a very long stay, but hey, it was different. We enjoyed it and certainly enjoyed this port. Being actually in the port was kind of cool. Lots going on, better than just being parked between a whole lot of other yachts and boats. Anyway, off to Montenegro, as we say. Schengen is an issue. We've only got 1 month of Schengen time left. So essentially, we can only spend in the next, 90 days really, 30 days in EU countries. So Montenegro is a fantastic place to effectively buy back some Schengen time. So we could be here for the next, or there for the next 2 months. So we're going to get to know Montenegro really well. We've got friends, guests, family coming for that entire time almost. So it's going to be pretty special and we're going to share it with you. But coming up very soon, in fact now, a real treat for you all. What you doing, Mrs. R?
On the helm, Mark.
Oh, good.
On the camera.
Because I abandoned the helm.
And we went on autopilot.
Oh, good. And you're driving it, not using the autopilot. I love it.
Yeah, just for a bit.
Yeah, I'll go and sit over here. 7.4 metres, see?
What's this boat doing? We have to give way to it.
He's on our, but he's going to turn, I'd say he's going to turn right. I'll just keep an eye on him. This is so cool. For the first time, we have Mrs. Rammel steering the boat.
First time.
No, manually.
I've done it manually before.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Right, so we want to go way over there, look.
Yes, I know.
That's right. So just always just refer to that. See, it's still out to the port. So at the moment, it's trying to go the other way. That's it. Here we go. So we've got a few fishing boats here to navigate. We've got that one coming towards us, see, sweetie, the little one. So once you're heading to the right a little bit, you can just let him go past and then come hard right, because we want to go way up there, don't we? Like even now, there's no way you're going to get in front of him now. That's so cool, sweetie. It's clear behind. What a gorgeous day. I'll put the tractor bar in, eh? You can see where that is too. So here is Montenegro, just up here.
Just up here, 53 nautical miles away.
And we are going to Bar. Put that there. Auto guidance.
It's going to cross this lake.
Yep.
That's where we were yesterday.
Oh, it is too.
Along there. And that's where we had a drink and.
Anyway, that's where we're going there. At the moment we're pointing there, so you can come across here if you want to. We're well clear of all the boats now. Yeah, that's where we were yesterday, over on that beach. And I mean, it actually looks quite flash from here, eh? Palm trees and architectural structures, but when you get there, it absolutely has a Soviet feel about it, doesn't it?
Yeah. East meets west.
Yeah. Anyway, anytime you're ready, sweetie, you can always put the autopilot on.
Nice.
Unless you want to drive. Okay, and there is a cardinal marker. It's the hourglass shape, so that means pass to the west of that marker. So we are heading 300 degrees and we were heading 280, so we were heading to the west of that marker, cardinal marker.
Flag, so Albania one hasn't been up that long because we haven't been here that long. And I put it on, so I thought this the other day when I put it on, I thought,
You put it on a bit tight.
I may have put that on a bit tight. That's alright.
So that was a very short-lived Albanian flag, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, Paul, we can expect to be pulled over by the Montenegrin Coast Guard.
Really?
Yeah, they're very diligent. This yacht came south the other day and they checked out of Montenegro and then decided to stop in a cute little bay on the way home and anchor there for the night, and they got fined €70 by the Coast Guard. Any time you're allowed to anchor is force majeure, so you've got to be in peril or unsafe. So Fiona and I, you can't even plan that. Like if we left and decided, oh no, we don't want to travel at night, then they'd say, well, you shouldn't have left. If you're not happy to travel at night, then stay until you can go. Yeah, so once you check out of a country, because we were thinking, we could have just come through Montenegro, through Albania and not checked in and just anchored along the coast, and I googled it, and effectively, technically you're not allowed to. People do, but you're not allowed to. So we checked in, and now we've checked out.
As wide as that one.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's all right, Marky.
Oh, well done. Montenegrin flag.
Because it's like that, so it's got the pressure on it. Whereas that one was very wide.
Yeah. Okay, I better go and put it up, eh?
Right, here you go.
Well done, Mrs. R.
I'm good for some things.
Oh, it's a gorgeous day, just look at it. Just had a pod of dolphins go through. We'll definitely get some of those on video for you at some stage. But we're actually going into a bit of a head current at the moment. We've been slowed down quite a bit. I'm just going to put the camera down, folks, because if I stand up here with the camera and... Oh, actually I might be alright. Let's see how we go. I'll be very careful. This one does not need to fall. Anyway, there is the Montenegrin flag on Awanui NZ. Guys, you can't believe this. There's a bloody swordfish over there jumping out of the water. Oh my God, look at him. Far out. That was a little swordfish. Well, no, it's about 5 feet long. I'm going to have to do some research on this. I didn't even know they were in. I better get the sonar on. There's obviously some fish activity here. Okay, people, got to go. Way too exciting, sorry. Okay, so we've spoken to the harbour master in Bar Harbour, and he has directed us to go to the customs quay, which is effectively in here. So currently we're just coming up to the breakwater. We'll turn right and then head over to the customs quay. Looks like there's already a boat tied up there, and we want to come around again so we are starboard side too. Fiona getting ready out on the deck, all the fenders out, getting the lines ready. Montenegro, here we come. Not a very user-friendly wharf, is it?
No, this is not much room.
That's right.
Will be enough, but... Yep.
In theory, we're only here temporarily, so...
Oh, hang on, put it on that side, eh? So they're not...
Yep. Here you go. You take that. It's on.
Right. This is the first time I'm on the wharf. So we put the springer on, and then I jumped off onto this here. Oh, it's interesting. The first time seeing Mark do the lines. And then put this on, but it got caught. Luckily a guy was passing by, so he was able to catch it for us. Then I jumped off so that we could do this one here. So I was lying down. Sorry, I'll show you. You've been looking at me instead. To put that in through there. And yeah, and that was the first one we did, but it got caught in behind there. So that's how our boat is looking. She's come off a little bit off there, Mark.
Yeah, which is quite nice, and the problem is...
It's this.
What?
This is stopping that.
Yeah, so we might just let this out a little bit, eh?
What's that going to do?
Well, in theory, it should give us a little bit more...
movement forward.
No, well, no, just it should mean, in theory, we can just move out a little bit.
You want to be too far out, we won't be able to get off.
Yeah, we can. We will. Yeah, see, just
doesn't want to. It's because that's in there, and we can't get. Look, ideally, we want to let a little bit of that out.
Well, we're only here for a short while, aren't we?
I just like.
You don't like it because it's not straight? Okay, well see, this is the difference. I'd be happy with this and just leave it, go and do our stuff, and he wants to start readjusting everything.
It's okay.
Okay, cool. Right, let's go and do our papers.
Yep. So I better put my jeans on, eh? You know?
Yeah, oh well.
You've seen that, eh? This?
Oh no, I haven't. Oh, that's clever. Didn't know that existed. Right, here you go, Marky.
Okay, you want to show our... Oh, we haven't got the passports with us, have we? So we're stamped into Montenegro.
What do you mean we haven't got the passport?
No, you haven't got them. They're very nice people. Very helpful. He brought us out of the immigration area and has shown us where to go for the harbour master. So we go straight ahead, past the propellers, past the billboard, yep, across the park, and then there's a grey building on the left. And then once we're checked in there, just watch those, sweetie, yeah. Then we bring the crew list back to customs, and customs then, I'm assuming, potentially could inspect the boat. And if not, then we'll be cleared to go.
That looks like marina.
Ah, hang on a minute. We need to go and get money.
You've got to go and get money. Right.
Okay, right.
You're taking it with you?
I am. So I have to go and get money. Yeah, I'll see you in the harbour master. Yeah, I forgot, because we read a thing that said they won't deal with you if you're in shorts. You have to have longs on, so I've changed my pants and I've left the blasted credit card and everything in my other pants. Anyway, here I am back at the boat. I'm really not happy with how we've managed to park this. So we've got this bow line way out the front, and it's only just long enough so it's a bit tight, so it holds the bow in a little bit. And there's this big rubber tyre down here. So here's the springer, and I let that out a little bit, hoping that the boat would move off the pier just a tad. And then the stern line going to this tie off down there, which was pretty hard to get at. So yeah, it's not what I'd call an ideal tie up, and it's not really designed for boats our size, I don't think. So anyway, I'll be really keen on any comments about maybe how we could have done that better. I'm not sure there's a blinking way, to be honest. All the bollards are miles apart, but anyway, it is what it is. Hello?
You got the card?
Yep, got the cards.
I thought I'd wait here because this group of school kids came past and the teacher asked me to take a photo.
Oh, how cool.
And then there was a couple here wanted a photo taken, and I thought, oh, I might as well sit in the shade and wait here.
Right, so harbour master we're looking for, which apparently is a grey building over here. There's a market store, marina shop over there. We could always ask, I guess. They said a grey building. You could almost argue every building's grey. I think it's over here, because he said off to the left. Found it, exactly where Mrs. Rammel said it would be. Bar Harbour Master Office. Alright, so we're learning all the time. So when you're in Montenegro, you basically have to pay €1 plus a little bit of tax every day that you stay here, and you're required to go to the tourist office in every town you visit. However, if you own your boat, because we've paid the 320 euros to cruise the boat in Montenegro for 3 months, we're covered. But anybody that visits us, we have to take them to a tourist office every place we go to, and it covers little regions basically, to register. And they take your passport details, and when you check out of Montenegro after your holiday, all that information is in the police and customs immigration system, and there's a big fine if it's worked out that you evaded the tourist tax. So essentially, every person visiting Montenegro pays €1 tourist tax per night they stay here. So,
But not us, because...
yeah, I've been over there.
But we still have to register.
Yeah, I've been over there.
No.
Oh no, so we don't have to, we still have to register, we just don't have to pay anything. In a nutshell, you arrive at the customs pier, you go and get your passport stamped, you go and pay the harbour master your fees, the harbour master issues you your crew list, you go and register with the tourist office, and you go back to customs and hand over your crew list, and they decide whether they're going to inspect your boat or not, and then you're basically ready to go.
No, then you have to give something to the port police as well on our list.
I think they do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll soon find out, because we are now back at customs.
What you up to, Marky?
Well, I am polishing stainless steel with Clanol, which is a shining protection. You just put a little bit of it on. We clean the stainless steel first, and then you put a little bit on, and then polish it off, and you end up with a nice shiny stainless steel, and it has a bit of a protective coating over it as well for water, so it helps keep the salt water at bay and helps protect the stainless steel from getting any of that little bit of surface rust and stuff like that.
That's brilliant. So then you don't have to go around and do the rust thing as much, you're hoping.
Yeah, and I suspect we'll have to, like when you do it, it'll go through a whole tube to do the boat. You know, and it doesn't say how often. I guess it's on condition, to be honest.
And how did you come across this product?
Oh, it was through Darby at Athens. He, you know, he's a professional boat guy, and he put us onto it.
Shout out to Darby Dubs, wherever you are.
Yep, it was really good stuff. But he gave us some other stuff that we're supposed to wash it with first. We haven't done that yet, but we will. So, yeah, I think it works really well.
That's cool. And while you're busy out there, I've got all the rugs and everything out here, or they're on the ground now. And I've been going through here with my trusty toothbrush and my cloth. And I've been down on my hands and knees. And I've been cleaning all the gaps, all around. Look how nice and clean they look. And all the vents. And there are heaps of vents, because there are vents down underneath. Cleaning the boat thoroughly like this really makes you realise how many vents there are and where things are. So that's cool. And then once I've done, I'm up to here now, just finished there. Just going to move these chairs out, and then I've got that last bit to do. Then I'll dust the surfaces, and then also need to dust all these little bits in here. See all these bits in here. And then I'll give this whole area a mop. So I concentrate on putting the boat in like 3 parts. So there's this area, the salon and the galley, and the stairs all make up one area. Then those stairs, the head and the guest cabin and guest head is another. Then the flight, I call it the flight deck, Mark tells me off about that. The pilot house then is another, because it has so many surfaces to clean down. So that's a third one, and then the final one is down here, steps, the head and our main cabin. So I break it up like that. Where are we, Marky?
Montenegro.
Lovely. And what's your feelings of Montenegro so far?
Jury's out. I think it'll be alright. I'm not convinced.
Mark's struggling with the fact that we need to spend 2 months here because of our Schengen, and whether there'll be enough to see and do.
Yeah, so we might just have to find somewhere gorgeous and park there for a week, which will be cool, because there's tons to get on with Blossom Valley, and we've got tons to get on with cleaning the boat, because we've got guests coming, so it's got to be spick and span for their arrival.
Plus there's also the bimini, we've got to find a place to have that
I've got
done.
a place, but we've just got to make sure that their price is okay. And then, well, it's in Tavor, I think it is, so which is just inside the Kotor Gulf, or Gulf of Kotor. I'm not even sure it's called that. Anyway, I'll get onto that. But yeah, we want to get all that sorted. It'd be great to get the bimini, and that'll probably mean going in there, getting it all measured up. They'll go off and make it, and 2 weeks later coming back. So that's cool if we're in an area that's close too.
Which is great.
No issue with that at all.
Spoke with Renee last night, and she said we thought we'd like Montenegro because it reminded her of home. So for those of you who are back in Wellington, just those hills
and we
there.
might go and do some, we might park up for a day or two and actually go and do something.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we haven't got much choice because Schengen is an issue.
That's right. It's a real
And
shame.
we're not going to get into the crew thing. I'm a bit nervous about that.
Yeah.
Although I think we got signed in here as crew, and I think we got signed into Albania as crew, but how that might get viewed elsewhere, we just don't know. Now look at that. Look at how that's come up.
That's great, eh?
Yeah.
So you put it on with one and then you take it off the other.
Put it on with one and then polish it up with the other.
That's great.
And that is, in theory, got a lot better coating on it, or a protective coating for when we get splashed going somewhere.
So good, eh? These are all the things that normally you would do first, but that just shows just how big a thing it's been, just picking up a brand new boat and
Yes, actually, you're right.
and learning everything.
Commissioning, this could have been part of our commissioning.
Yeah.
We could have got the whole boat waxed and this all done. Yeah. Maybe in hindsight we were a bit rushed leaving.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had issues with time in Turkey as well, so.
We've had issues with time everywhere, haven't we?
Well, only in Turkey because I spent so long there late last year and that.
You missed a spot.
Oh, a scratch, but so I'll get on to that. I can see myself in it. I reckon I could just about shave in that.
That's cool.
Well, apart from the fact that it was curved.
And then we've done the washing. As you can see, there's our washing out for the day. And we are tied up alongside.
Not very well though.
But that's okay, we're learning. And I got this ready just to go around and pledge all the surfaces. And then it'll be using our pronto pledge. And then with a paper towel. And then it'll be time to give the floors the final thing, the mop. So I've done all these bits in here. Done all the vents, those bits. Quite time consuming, but it does look lovely when it's done. So what I've been doing is just sweeping out and then going around the edges as you've just seen me do. And then these things called Swiffer Wet, they're really cool. They do have a specific thing that you put them on, but I didn't buy that because what I did is I worked out that I can use this with my broom. So I shall show you how I do that. And here it is. See, it sticks to it. Isn't that cool? And I can just use it and I can mop away. How fantastic is that? So it's great for being on the boat because I don't need to have like a separate mop and a separate this and a separate that. So I think I have got onto something here. And there we have the finished product. Chairs back in place. Everything cleaned down, looking nice and tidy and clean. You can't smell it, but it smells lovely. And so I've got this whole area done and the galley done.
Okay, so we're about to leave the wharf here in Bar, Montenegro. It's the 9th of June. About lunchtime, we're just going to head up to a bay just up the coast and anchor there. And just looking at the ropes and had a bit of advice from good friend back in New Zealand. So a couple of things we got wrong there is we got different tensions on the lines. Did I say ropes before? I've got a horrible feeling I did. So you see there's a bit of tension on that one, or there was, it just came off. Very little on this one, and at the front there's not much either. So the idea is when we tie up, and I can understand why now, it's pretty obvious when you think about it, you want equal tension. Otherwise if you get a big swell come through, which could be from a ferry or something like that, then one rope, one line will take the tension before all the others and effectively bear the whole load. So the idea is to have your lines as equal tension as possible. Also, this springer we've got coming down to the aft from midships, we should also have one coming up here or to here, and that effectively locks the boat that way on the quay, and then the aft and the bow lines are preventing the boat from going out. And apparently, I'm not quite sure why yet, I've asked why, we shouldn't have the lines this slack. We should have them a little bit tighter, all of them, to bring the boat in towards the quay, so that if you do get a big swell come through, it doesn't bash you against the quay. My only concern there is, I thought the idea was to leave them a little bit loose so the boat could kind of find its own little level, and also you're not rubbing up and down, or your fenders up and down the side of the quay all the time. I guess a lot of it depends on the weather. If you know you've got good weather, then you possibly don't need them quite so tight, but that doesn't affect the swell from when a boat goes past or a ship goes past. Anyway, so that's that. And also we're just going to practice today going off the quay, because we haven't done that much. So what we're going to do is start the engines, let the bow line off, let the stern line off, and just effectively keep the springer there, and then I can obviously keep the boat on the quay side with the engines and bow thruster. So we're just trying to work out how to nicely bring the boat off a quay side when you've got another boat parked behind you and then another boat parked in front of you. Okay, Shannon's going to release the bow line. Okay, so obviously the bow just wants to move out a little bit there, nothing holding it in. It's almost calm, a little bit of a side breeze, so it's no issue though. Okay, so I'll just put a little bit of bow thruster in there just to keep it. Okay, so there we are. We've got starboard engine and idle forward, and we've got port rudder. So there is the springer taking the load. Stern line has come off, and the tail is basically sitting against the quay. So see that, sweetie? Yep. So that's off. We've got forward idle on the starboard, and we've got right rudder in. So the tension's on the springer, and now the tail's just sitting there. All right, so now what we want to do is just try and bring the tail off a little bit, all right, as if we're departing, because we've got to either take the tail off or the bow off. And if you take the bow off, the tail's going to go in, all right? So we've got the fender there, all right? So that's looking good. So what we'll do is we'll loosen this off, and you can quietly let that out as the tail comes around.
Okay.
All right? I'll just see what it'll do, because let me experiment here, because what I might do is just come back a little bit so you've got the slack in that straight away, and then just go into starboard forward, aft in reverse, and then just see if the boat quietly edges away without hitting there.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to just come back a little bit. All right. No, that's all right. We got a bit of slack there.
Yep.
That's pretty good, eh? So now we just go forward idle, port to reverse. Is the tail coming out?
Yep.
How's the bow looking?
Not bad.
Yeah, that's good, eh? See, now we can see how that's coming past. If there's a boat there, it would help us. All right, and we might just put a little bit of bow thruster in just to keep that off. Okay, you can let that line off. Right, so there we are. We've got the tail out nicely, look. How you going there? See the bow coming in a bit close? You let me know when the line's in, eh, sweetie?
Line is in. Did you copy?
Yep. Okay, there we go, look. See? Now we can just back away from the pier, look. Bring the bow around there. So there we are, just going back nice and slow. Looks good on that side. Looks good on that side. Happy with that? That looks good, eh? That works well. So that's how you bring the stern out when you've got a boat close behind and a boat in front. What we need to do is we need to put that big fender up the front a bit further as well. Right, now we just want to turn around. Right, we want to go to starboard, so a bit of starboard tiller in, and we'll we'll go to idle forward, and we should just nicely clear this pier. So always got to be careful about that tail coming around, but that looks good. We clear that nicely, and there we are, vacating the marina. Okay, really happy with that. That worked well. Of course, if there's a stronger wind coming from the starboard side, we could have just sat there, because the wind would have effectively pushed us away from the quayside, and then we could have just backed out. So in a perfect world, I guess, you're always facing the direction you want to go, but because we're stern side to all the time, sometimes we can't achieve that. Happy with that.
Right, Renee, can you tell us what you're doing?
I just made focaccia. Look at that. This is the best bread I've had in my entire life. I should open a bread bakery.
Looks great, Renee.
It does, eh?
I put like a garlic butter that I made over it.
Wow.
Rosemary and like cracked salt. So it's like even just on its own. Maybe it could have stayed in the oven a little bit longer. It's a bit doughy in the middle. Tastes like garlic salt.
You're not going to put butter on it?
Well, it's really moist.
Like it should be, or?
Like it doesn't need butter. Because I put the garlic butter like in
Oh, yeah, because that's all in there.
I mean, I'm so full right now after the pub lunch, but I'm still scoffing this back. That's how good it is.
Okay, so we're leaving this gorgeous bay this morning. Yesterday, absolutely flat calm bay. Rookie mistake, because it was absolutely flat calm, the forecast was great, we didn't do a bridle and snubber. So it meant when the swell did come in last night, you're getting that little from the chain rubbing against the rubber and plastic rollers. So rookie mistake. Anyway, this morning we're just going an hour up the road. There's a bit more of a sheltered bay up there. Just turn the camera around, walk back, and then you won't get the wind noise, hopefully. Yeah, so it's only about an hour up the road, and a bit of wind coming in today, and a swell up to 1 metre. So we'll just get ourselves snug as a bug in a rug somewhere, and we'll sit that out because tomorrow, right through to the weekend, is supposed to be flat calm every day. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there you go, crew member number 1 arriving with a cup of tea. Anyway, we're out of here. Okay, I'm going to go full port. You hear it just make that noise? Yeah, it does it there, see? Hear it cut in, cut out. Doesn't engage properly. Yeah. Okay, so this is just quite different to the Albanian coast. So we just left our bay 5 minutes ago, gone along this cliff line here, and then immediately another cute little bay with a town at the end of it. And yep, you'd need to be there in the right weather, but we're coming into that settled time of the year, and so bays like this would just be gorgeous to pop into, set the anchor, go into town, get a cup of coffee, bit of a nibble, something like that, have a quick look around, and then come out and move on to the bay we were in last night and stay there for a couple of nights. Looks really nice, and could even be a nice spot in behind this bluff to anchor. I think it looks great. Quite different to the Albanian coast, quite different. Cute little bay, only about half an hour out of where we left, and look at all the birds over there. So that must be nesting time, or yeah, it must be nesting time, I suspect, because they're not seagulls, they look like swallows or something. Anyway, look at that church on the top there. Somebody took the time and made the effort to build that church up there. What a job that must have been. And just a beautiful little bay here. So we're just going to poddle in and have a look, just a bit of research, get our heads around what's in the area for future reference and future guests. What a beautiful little town. We'll put that on our to-do list. Good morning. Very green Montenegro. Pine trees growing out of rock by the look of it. How the heck do they do that, and how old are they? Anyway, it's gorgeous, and the infrastructure looks pretty impressive. I mean, there's some big viaducts up there, bigger than what we've got back home. Yeah, quite impressed with this little country, must admit. I think Montenegro is alive and well. That is a significant building for people to come to and enjoy that beach with a swim area off it. I mean, that's a 200 room building minimum. All of them paying their €1 per day tourism tax to stay here. Fantastic idea. And I think it's locally oriented as well, because you have to pay it in each area that you visit rather than nationally. Okay, here we are in Sveti Stefan. We're trying to hole up here for the metre swells this afternoon and tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Absolutely beautiful bay. Took 2 attempts to anchor.
First time just backed in here in 10 metres of water and dropped the anchor, went back 50 metres and then just kept going back once we thought the anchor had set, and it didn't. We were just continuously moving back slowly, so obviously it hadn't set, and there's quite a weedy bottom here, so we brought the anchor up again and it had a lot of weed on it, so we do feel a little bit guilty about that. Anyway, we moved back out again, looked over the bow until we saw what we looked like clear area on the seabed, and then dropped it, and we've now put out 70 metres, and with both engines in reverse idle, the ground speed was 0, so we've definitely set the anchor. It's just a matter of if it got windy, whether it would hold, or in a swell, whether it would lift or not. Hopefully not. Gorgeous property over there. I mean, that is if you can see it, right in front of a pergola with a wisteria growing along the top. I mean, just beautifully manicured. Quite something. And there's a park off to the stern of the boat there, a lot of people walking through it. So yeah, it's turning into a gorgeous day. We'll see how it goes, and we'll be here for tonight. And that in the distance is Budva, which is a city. Yeah, Budva. So we may go over and have a look at that tomorrow. But as I said, we're quietly just picking our way up the coastline and checking the place out for future reference, because we're going to be here for up to 3 months, and we want to make sure that everybody that's joining us is going to have a wonderful time. Otherwise, we've always got the option for the last month to head to Croatia. But from what we've seen so far, absolutely beautiful. So we were over the far side of the bay there, but it got untenable, to be honest. We had about 1 metre swell coming through, but the wind at 90 degrees to it, so effectively the boat sat into the wind, and we just had these 1 metre swells coming through, and the slop from side to side was just awful. So we've moved over to Budva, which is the town in the background there, and we've tucked in below this little peninsula here that heads right out to the edge of the bay, reasonably close to the shore there, but there were other yachts here at the time. Now there's only a couple.
Well, that's another episode, and now look, we're not even 2 weeks behind now, so we're going to catch up real quick. Thought I'd go for a bit of a drone fly. It was pretty challenging, about 25, 30 knots of wind. So man, I was chewing through the battery when I was flying into the wind. But anyway, see what you think, and look forward to seeing you next episode. Cheers.